Well, ladies and gentlemen, I am the one and only DJ Storms, and I would like to welcome all of you to the Lightning Flash update right here on YouTube.com on September 29th, 2017. You already know who I am, Mr. Controversy, and the operator of the best damn Twitter handle known to mankind. I do not have a lot of news, rumors, and reports today, but the news, rumors, and reports that I do have are extremely important, and they could have a major effect in the wrestling world in the near future. Not just for WWE, but for New Japan as well. As many of you know, the Young Bucks could possibly be facing a lawsuit due to the invasion of Monday Night Raw, and WWE does not want them to use the Too Sweet Jester anymore. However, I do have some information on how the Young Bucks might deal with this. We're going to get right into the weekly show reviews. Nothing really too special this week on WWE television. I'm just going to breeze through Raw. Nothing special really happened on Raw. Jordan and the Hardy Boys, Jordan and Matt Hardy actually defeated the Miztourage. Jeff Hardy, unfortunately, is out with an injury. He could possibly be out until WrestleMania season. Probably around March, I'm guessing. This match came about after there was a Miz TV segment with Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns and The Miz was made for later on in the show, and Kurt Angle came out to make the match between Jordan, Matt Hardy, and Curtis Axel and Bo Dallas. Then we had Strowman defeat Dean Ambrose. It was a good match. Mickie James then challenged Alexa Bliss. I believe this is going to be the next women's feud going into TLC and possibly going into early November. Rollins then defeated Sheamus, and he stated to Ambrose he will challenge Braun Strowman next week, and that match was confirmed. Roman Reigns then defeated The Miz. The Miztourage attacked Roman Reigns and did the signature Shield gesture with the outstretched fist. So, it looks like Roman Reigns could be headed towards an Intercontinental Championship feud, which I'm not completely into it. I'm not completely against it. But the way I see this playing out, Roman Reigns wins the Intercontinental title. Then the Shield joins with Roman, and I could see the Shield versus the Miztourage in a 6-man tag team match, winners take all, for the Intercontinental and the Raw Tag Team titles. So then Goldust turned heel and lost to Finn Balor. Apparently, the Finn Balor-Bray Wyatt feud isn't over yet, but I do have some news on Finn Balor regarding his position going into Survivor Series and possibly the Royal Rumble. And then Enzo Amore's title celebration. This is one of those cases where we've seen a rare double turn. Enzo Amore has turned heel. There was a lot of truth to what he was saying. Ever since Neville has held the Cruiserweight title, he has never skinned the 11 o'clock hour. Never ever skinned it. The dude is money. He is skyrocketed to the top of the merchandise sales. Neville, he has never even sold maybe like 2% of what Enzo's been selling. And Enzo saying a lot of truth about the Cruiserweights. And but this ended up resulting in Neville violating the no contact clause, and then Braun Strowman and the Cruiserweights attacking Enzo after the show went off the air. So it was nothing really too special. I mean, I'm glad that Enzo's finally getting some attention. He's finally being utilized correctly. We're going to see how it plays in the future. SmackDown Live. That was the better show this week, without a doubt. Show started off with Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. Owens stated that Sami Zayn is jealous after Sami Zayn came out and tried to talk some sense into Kevin Owens, but Owens stated Sami Zayn is jealous because he has done more in 3 years than you have done your entire career. Sami Zayn said, yeah, things haven't worked out, but I know when my day comes, and it will, I would have gotten there my way, and at least when I look in the mirror, I don't see a giant piece of trash looking back at me. This ended up leading to a match between Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. Boy, oh boy, I never get tired of watching these guys. Baron Corbin then defeated Ty Dillinger via countout, and he said to AJ Styles, I'm not going to take any shortcuts, no cheap attacks, you and me one-on-one for the United States Championship at Hell in a Cell, and the match was made. I'm actually shocked that Ty Dillinger is not being included in this match, but then again, there's still one more SmackDown to go before Hell in a Cell. So, we could possibly see Dillinger and Corbin one more time on SmackDown, and this time, Dillinger could come out victorious, and we could get a triple threat match with Dillinger being added to the match later on. So, never say never about that. Jinder Mahal then addressed the WWE Universe, basically cutting the same promo he's been cutting for the past 3 weeks, only this time, Shinsuke Nakamura pulled a Sting, and he acted as if he was a picture on the Titantron, then came out, quickly disposed of the Singh brothers, and delivered a beautiful Kinshasa to the modern-day Maharaja. Hopefully this is a sign of things to come, and Shinsuke Nakamura will win the WWE Championship that he's oh so rightfully deserved. Usos then defeated the Hype Bros. Still some tension in there between Zack Ryder and Mojo Rawley. I really don't want them to break up. I would much rather see them as heels. But unfortunately, it looks like WWE is probably going to break them up. And afterwards, they got into a heated conversation with the New Day, who conveniently was seated right behind the announce team. And New Day stated, we don't just want to defend our titles at Hell in a Cell. We want to defend our titles inside Hell in a Cell. So we have 2 potential Match of the Year candidates with for Hell in a Cell with Shane McMahon and Kevin Owens and the New Day and the Usos. And this could very well be the final chapter between the New Day and the Usos feud. Although I wish it would have ended at SummerSlam. Then Rusev's Pride of Bulgaria celebration took place with Aiden English singing a song in honor of Rusev Day. This resulted in an RKO out of nowhere to English, and an RKO that echoed the one at SummerSlam to Rusev. And Randy Orton stated that if Rusev wants to step into my jungle, I'll see him at Hell in a Cell. Charlotte then defeated Carmella, nothing too special there. And Natalya said that your dad is going to watch you fail at Hell in a Cell. Then came Under Ziggler, and I tweeted that out. He's continuously mocking all the past superstars with flamboyant entrances. And surprise, surprise, we got the glorious Bobby Roode. He came out and he stated, you claim to be one of the greatest in-ring talents that has ever stepped foot in the WWE. Well, why don't you prove that and face me at Hell in a Cell? And just as Ziggler went for the Undertaker's rest in peace catchphrase, Bobby Roode stopped him. He goes, Hell in a Cell is going to be glorious. I concur. I concur with that statement, Mr. Roode. And then in the main event, Owens then defeated Zayn after the match was stopped due to an apron powerbomb. Then Owens went for the same move that put Chris Jericho on the shelf per storyline. He was going to take a steel chair, wrap it around Sami Zayn's neck, and send Sami Zayn neck first into the post. Shane McMahon came out, and Kevin Owens threw Sami Zayn into Shane McMahon and then hightailed it up into the crowd. I'm very interested to see how Shane McMahon and Kevin Owens play out. I'm very interested to see the types of spots that are going to take place in that Hell in a Cell match. Moving on to 205 Live. So, 205 Live started off with Enzo Amore cutting a fantastic promo. And he stated that, you all chanted, you deserve it, while I was getting my ass kicked. Meanwhile, my mother was sitting right there and crying. Neville, you broke the contact clause first, so you're not getting your rematch anytime soon. And that was not the last we would see of Enzo Amore for the night. Then the next match took place, and it was Akira Tozawa defeating Tony Nese, and Drew Gulak then was going to continue with his PowerPoint presentation. We are almost up to slide 10, and it then resulted in him getting his teeth kicked in by Akira Tozawa. Not as bad as Cesaro, with no mercy, but nevertheless, it was a devastating kick. Then Arya Daivari supposedly turned face here. Enzo Amore would be in his corner for his match against Neville later on in the night. TJP then attacked by Rich Swann. He was originally set to face Lince Dorado, and Rich Swann came out, laid out TJP. And I'm assuming that this feud is going to continue on for maybe a month or so. We could possibly get another stipulation match. Maybe 2 out of 3 falls. Maybe no disqualification. Then, it was announced for next week that the former gentleman, Jack Gallagher, will take on Cedric Alexander. And Jack Gallagher, embracing this heel turn, he cut a fantastic promo backstage with the Brian Kendrick. I am very much looking forward to Jack Gallagher's run as a heel. It could possibly lead him to the Cruiserweight Championship. You never know. And then Neville defeated Arya Daivari, and afterwards, Enzo attacked him with the crutch, broke the crutch in half. And this is one of those double turn moments. The last double turn we saw was all the way back in 2013 at the inaugural Payback pay-per-view, where we saw a double turn between Dolph Ziggler and Alberto Del Rio. Mark this down on your calendars. This could be the resurrection of Enzo Amore's career and Neville's second run as a babyface. And then we have NXT, which I thought was the best show this week. Started off with Sanity. Eric Young stated Sanity thrives on chaos. It is all about the chaos, and he's going to take Adam Cole to the edge of sanity. Lars Sullivan then defeated Oney Lorcan, and Lars Sullivan, he's slowly growing on me. He's slowly growing on me. It's going to take a little bit while longer, but that theme song has really got me hooked. Really got me hooked on that theme song. And as he improves going on in the future weeks, he could very well become one of my favorite superstars on NXT. Anyway, after the match, Danny Burch then helped Oney Lorcan away from Lars Sullivan. So in the future, we could possibly be seeing a Lars Sullivan-Danny Burch feud. I am all for that. Heavy Machinery then defeated some jobbers to get back into their winning ways. Liv Morgan then defeated Vanessa Bourne. And it was announced that William Regal announced that they're going to have a fatal 4-way match at NXT TakeOver Houston. Kairi Sane is already in there. We need 3 more women, and we are going to crown the next NXT Women's Champion. Cassius Ohno then defeated Fabian Eichner. And I don't know if you guys noticed, but NXT this week, they really upped their game. They really upped their game as far as competition goes. A lot of people in NXT have been looking to make a name for themselves, even the jobbers. We still got McIntyre and Strong for the NXT title next week. I believe it's going to be a fantastic match. And then in the main event, Adam Cole defeated Eric Young with a Shining Wizard. The Undisputed Era is ringing in very, very quickly. Now, on to the news, rumors, and reports. As you probably already know, reported by multiple news sources, including PW Insider, WWE has plans to sue the Young Bucks for using the Too Sweet hand gesture. There are rumors that the Young Bucks are willing to fight this, and I believe it has been reported that they have hired a very, very, very good lawyer. So we could possibly be seeing a huge lawsuit between the Young Bucks and WWE. And I am actually not surprised, especially between Matt Jackson, because he was a jobber for the WWE, and he absolutely hated it. So I believe Matt Jackson has a personal vendetta against Vince McMahon and the entire WWE as a whole. I guess this is not going to result in Kenny Omega coming to WWE anytime soon, nor Cody Rhodes, Marty Scurll, or the Young Bucks at all. Moving on, according to The Observer, WWE has plans to bring back Kaitlyn. She recently got back into the ring at the Main Event Training Center for the first time in 4 years. I am actually very much interested in this, mainly because I was a fan of Kaitlyn back during her Divas Championship run in 2013. And I believe that if she had stuck around, I believe that she would have been offered a lot more opportunities than she was offered back during 2013. So if she comes back, she could very well find herself in a role where she is fighting for the Raw or SmackDown Women's Championship. And plus, we got Paige on SmackDown Live. So if Kaitlyn comes to SmackDown Live, the level of competition in the women's division on SmackDown Live could be raised drastically. Mark my words on that. And I got a couple of reports from Cage Side Seats regarding Brock Lesnar. Cage Side Seats reported that Brock Lesnar is appearing on the Raw Before Survivor Series. Now, the original plans was to have Brock Lesnar remain off of television all the way up until the Royal Rumble, face whoever he's going to face at the Rumble, and then obviously face Borman Lames at WrestleMania. Plans may have changed, and we could be seeing a Universal title match at Survivor Series. Finn Balor is rumored to be Brock Lesnar's next opponent. Now, I am all for this for multiple reasons. Number one, because finally, a former Universal Champion will get his rightful rematch. If you guys have noticed, Finn Balor, Kevin Owens, Goldberg, all former Universal Champions, and none of them have gotten their mandatory rematch clause. So, if Finn Balor was to face Lesnar, it would really hold up to the mandatory rematch clause contract that every former champion has. Number two, I am a huge Finn Balor fan, and I believe Finn Balor has the potential to be a huge main event level talent. Mainly because I believe that his push was kind of cut off, and all of his momentum just kind of died after that injury at SummerSlam, which is really not his fault. I just really don't like the fact that just because of one slip-up, your entire career is derailed, and you have to work your ass off for years upon end in order to get back to that same position. And number three, mainly because I am interested to see how Finn Balor and Brock Lesnar work together. I believe that they can put on a decent match if you give these guys time. However, obviously we know that Brock Lesnar is stronger, is more, he has that, what's the word that I'm looking for? He has more of a killer instinct than Finn Balor, but then again, Finn Balor, he's got to use his speed in order to take down the Beast incarnate. And I don't know why, I can't help but feel that if they do this Survivor Series match with Finn Balor, I can't help but feel it's just going to be like all the other matches that Brock Lesnar has had. And that's what I really don't like about Brock Lesnar nowadays. I don't really like the fact that they've only been treating him as a guy who can do suplexes in 1F5. And especially that 1F5 against Braun Strowman at No Mercy, that really got under my skin. That really, really, really got under my skin. Obviously, we know that Roman and Lesnar are set to have a showdown at WrestleMania, and it couldn't be more pathetic than that because, literally, they have tried everything that they could. I could go on for days. About the people that have tried to get Roman Reigns over, like Vince himself, Sasha Banks, Dean Ambrose, Seth Rollins, Triple H, Sheamus, Alberto Del Rio, Rusev, The Undertaker, John Cena, Daniel Bryan, Brock Lesnar back at WrestleMania 31, and nothing has worked. Nothing has worked. The only thing that can save Roman Reigns' career at this very moment is to turn him heel. And I don't know why WWE is so against it, because a heel turn can do wonders for a man's career. Just look at Neville. Look at Neville. Just look at Seth Rollins. Just look at The Rock. Look at The Rock himself. He went from Rocky Maivia to The Rock and became one of the greatest superstars in WWE history. He became one of the core pillars that held up WWE during the Attitude Era. And if done right, a heel turn could do wonders for Roman Reigns. You could build up a man who is even more hated than Roman Reigns as a heel. And when the time is right, you can have Roman turn on that hated heel. He can have a very strong babyface run. And then, and only then, can you truly say that Roman Reigns is ready. Roman Reigns hasn't been ready for 3 years. And I don't believe until he's had a strong heel run, he will never be ready. He will never, ever, ever be ready. All this Shield reunion thing is a way to get Roman Reigns over. They're basically on their hands and knees begging for us to cheer Roman Reigns. And it's not going to work. And I'm trying to get tickets to the Royal Rumble in Philly because even though Battleground sucked, I did have a good time conversing with all the wrestling fans. I did have a good time fantasizingly booked SummerSlam back when we were able to with people from the YWC. So it would be very interesting to see what they do at the Royal Rumble. And if my calculations are correct, and I don't believe that they're going to go this route because I believe it would be a huge mistake. If Roman Reigns does not win the Royal Rumble, then what are you going to do? How is he going to get to WrestleMania? Because we've been stating for the past 7-8 months that AJ Styles versus Nakamura has to be the main event of WrestleMania 34. They are the only two people worthy of main eventing WrestleMania at this moment. Not Roman Reigns, not Brock Lesnar, not Jinder Mahal, Styles and Nakamura, because they are the two best in-ring performers in the WWE at this very moment. And it would be a huge, huge mistake if AJ and Nakamura does not main event WrestleMania this year. Or excuse me, next year rather. I'm already thinking it's next year, mainly because we're already on the road to WrestleMania 34, and WrestleMania season hasn't even technically started yet. Getting back to Brock Lesnar, though, there are rumors from Cage Side Seats that if Brock Lesnar re-signs with WWE, plans are for him to reignite his feud with Braun Strowman, possibly with Strowman going over. I have nothing against that, but at the same time, I really don't just want WrestleMania to be a way to a latch-ditch effort to get Roman Reigns over, only to have Brock Lesnar never get his mandatory rematch clause and immediately go into a feud with Braun Strowman again. It's certain types of things. I don't really want one bad thing to lead into one good thing. Because like they always say, two wrongs don't make a right. And with WWE, they have done hundreds of wrongs with Roman Reigns. It would take me too long to go over it because this video would be 72 hours. But all I'm basically saying is this. Roman Reigns, the only way to save his career is with a heel turn. That's all I'm going to say. As far as Survivor Series goes, I'm all for having Finn Balor versus Brock Lesnar because I'm interested to see how those two work together. But at the same time, I don't just want Finn Balor to be used as a stepping stone. I don't want whoever they have planned at the Royal Rumble to be used as just a roadblock for Brock Lesnar to blow through before he gets to Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. It's probably going to be Wyatt at WrestleMania. I don't really see who else there could be. It could be Samoa Joe, since Samoa Joe might be coming back after TLC. It just really, 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 really gets under my skin that WWE has all these talented guys like Samoa Joe, Brock Lesnar, Bray Wyatt, Finn Balor. You treat the guys good for about 4 months, and then you feed them to a guy like Brock Lesnar where they could easily get a victory over and assert themselves as the next big star to carry Monday Night Raw and the Universal Championship into the next generation, and then you kill all their momentum with one F5. And then what? At WrestleMania, you're going to have Roman kick out of 5 F5s, like he did with John Cena at No Mercy. Kicked out of 4 AAs, beat John Cena with 1 spear. That's it. Vince McMahon, I'm really trying to control myself here because I really don't want to get on a huge rant about Roman Reigns and Vince McMahon, all this other crap again. Nobody likes to complain about this stuff. Nobody does. Nobody likes to complain, period. But the fact of the matter is that what are we supposed to do when Vince McMahon constantly gives us the middle finger? What are we supposed to do? And I've stated this numerous times before, and I'm pretty sure everyone can agree with me when I continuously state that I don't hate Roman Reigns. I hate what he represents. It is not his fault that his career is going up in smoke. It's not his fault that his entire career will be tainted. It is Vince McMahon's fault. Vince McMahon has the balls to take a headbutt, a super kick, a punch, and a frog splash from Kevin Owens, but he doesn't have the balls to give someone else besides Roman Reigns a world title run. Does that make any sense? Does that make any sense? I really don't know what else to say as far as WrestleMania goes, but if they do have Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar, they cannot main event. If they do go ahead and they do have Shinsuke Nakamura versus AJ Styles, they must main event. If they have both Roman Reigns and Lesnar and Nakamura, AJ Styles, if Styles and Nakamura goes on before Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar, then that WrestleMania on its own is not worth watching. It's not even worth going to. If Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar main event WrestleMania 34, if I were you, I wouldn't even go. And I know that's a pretty bold statement considering that we are all professional wrestling fans, but if it was me, I wouldn't even go. I would go for probably 2, 3 of the best matches on there, and then I'd leave. And I apologize about my dog. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that wraps up this edition of the Lightning Flash Update. I would like to thank each and every one of you who tuned into this video live. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Follow me on Instagram at ddog316. Follow me on Twitter at #1 WWE fan. Do not forget to check out the rundown for No Mercy 2017 if you missed it. Do not forget to tune into the Lightning Flash Update next week. I'm the one and only DJ Storms. This has been the Lightning Flash Update. You enjoy the rest of your weekend, guys.